One of the most important things is to make sure the barrels are level and not wobbly. One thing that has evolved over the years of playing this game with horses is if you flip the barrel over and not use the rounded side on the ground, they're a lot more stable. But as you can imagine, the last thing you'd want to have happen is to put your right foot over onto the other barrel and have it tip over in that moment. Of course, you also want to make sure you don't set them up too far apart. Keep the size of your horse in mind, though. You don't want to neglect to give him enough room to squeeze between the barrels.
That's solid. That's more solid. All right, you do a little back.
One thing you want to start with is see if you can ask the horse to go between the barrels without that being an issue for him.
All right, this is Hunter. We saw a video of a girl, I think in Germany or something, who was demonstrating how she could stand up on two barrels and a horse would back under her at her request and she would lower herself onto the saddle. I decided I'm going to teach small, medium, and large. So first is small. I'm going to teach him to go through, not stop and let me get on him. And then I'm going to teach the medium one to go through. And then I'm going to teach the large one to back up and let me get on him. I've been able to stand on this little guy, so who knows, maybe I might stop him midway and stand on him. So he doesn't have a clue what I'm going to teach him. So I'm going to use two little sticks as my aid. And I'm going to try to get him to understand how to back up. You're right. How to back up based on me having aids in the air. So I'm going to do this. See if I can't get him to back up. And tell his face, you're good. No, wait. Hope. You're right. Come here. You did good. You tried. I didn't even ask you to really do anything. You tried. Okay? So I'm going to get him to spin around, bring me his tail.
Do you know why he's not bringing his tail the extra 2 steps to me?
Good. Now I'm going to tip your head that way.
Because the barrels there are robbing him of his confidence. He's afraid, as subtle as it is.
What I want to teach him is to back up to my asking him to back up. So, All right, you're okay. Okay, so I'm going to get him thinking backwards first before I scare him too much more. Back. Okay, good. What I'm looking for. So now, since I'm kind of scaring him from way back there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start him here. I'm going to say back. Good.
When you see them struggle with something new, try to find a smaller
So
bite
now
for
I'm
them
gonna
to
say
chew
ask him
on.
again.
Sometimes it's just a simple change in where you ask from. Although I want him to back up to me while I stand at his tail, at first I might have to ask from closer to his
Well,
chest.
you have kind of an idea now of what the 2 sticks are going to mean. Job. So maybe I might ask him to back from me further behind him.
Once the message is clear, you can start moving back to where you actually want him to respond to the cue from.
So he's smart. We have a good language. So I'm going to ask him to forward. And now I'm going to try to advance this. Now, if you were starting with a horse that didn't have a clue what you want from him, you got to establish the language first. But in his case, it's just a matter of telling him that these are applied as a result of wanting him to back up. Matthias is just going to beat on that fence the whole time. All right. So now I'm going to try to ask him from behind him. Back. Nope. Back. Nope. Hunter. No. Back. Good. There you go. Good job. Okay. So I ended up having to get beside him again. That's okay. Here. Matthias, seriously? Do you want me to do it? Yeah. You'll put him in the stall. I thought he'd be able to be out here at least. He's just going to that's going to really be amplified. Green. He's the green one? Yep. was gonna pause it, but he's got hay in his stall. He's like, well, what do you mean? I don't know that stuff. He's like, okay, so we got the noisemaker out of here. Okay, so I got to go back to trying to get him to back up and not think that I'm asking him to turn. So I'm going to tell him to come back over here. Oh, he turned his rear end away. Bring me your tail. Hunter, bring me your tail. Oh, no, we're not going to do Spanish walk, buddy. Here. Here. Over.
Hunter wasn't sure what it was I specifically wanted, so he thought he'd try to make me happy with a few steps of the Spanish walk.
I know, the Spanish walk is so cute. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, good boy. So I'm going to go ahead and ask him again. Back. Good boy. Nope, nope. Good boy, good boy, good boy. So of course I want him to go straight. I don't want him to come back to me on an angle, but I'm going to ask him to try to do it straight this time back. Nope, nope. Ho, ho. So I'm going to try to help him a little bit and see if I can't manage that. Ho, ho, ho. You're fine. Okay. Hunter, no. No, I'm going to have to control his nose a little bit.
So I actually ended up taking the rope from back around his neck and offered it as support for him to understand not to yield his nose away. By holding his nose straight, it gave him a chance to rethink the answer he came up with.
So again, no, no, I'm stopping him from yielding away. Good. Back. Good job. Good job. Okay, again, I'm going to stop him from yielding away because that's his automatic response.
See if you can tell when it clicks for him that what he's been trying to do is not the right answer.
Okay? Good job. Good job. So I might wait for him to lick and chew.
I always
just
step
because that
away
was
from
kinda
the
hard for him.
up-close
There, we
work
got our
when
lick
they
and chew.
seem to struggle. It gives them a chance to just wash off the stress of that moment of learning, and then it helps them retain what it is
Okay.
they
Once
actually
he
learned.
understands what the sticks mean, in this particular case, it'll be easy for him to understand once I'm standing on those barrels what I want from him. Back. Back. Nope, nope, nope. So I thought I could do it without controlling his nose. Okay. I like that, but it's not coming to me. Nope. You're good. Wait, wait, no, wait. Back. No, 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 no. Good. Back. Back. No, no. Back.
See if you can
No.
see when he makes the decision to try a different
There
answer.
you go. Good boy.
The whole time he's been trying to yield to the left of me. Watch his right foot when the decision is made to try something different. The quicker you can tell them they're on the right track, the more likely they are to stay with that thought.
That was nice. I had to wait for him to think it through, but that was nice. That was real nice. Good job.
It's so important to be patient. They will get it.
You might be okay for that
I
too.
use the word no
You know,
to
maybe
inform
if he drops
Hunter
his
that was
head down a
not
little
on the
bit.
right track. Good or yes, tell him that he found the right answer and should keep trying.
I got it.
Again, I like to give them little mental breaks by stepping away from them and letting them soak on what they just learned. If I stay standing too close
Okay.
to them, it makes them a little anxious and makes them start to try things because they think they should be doing something. When you step away, you take all the pressure off.
Back.
And right here is an example of the value of letting them just soak for a
man.
second.
That's a good guy. What a good guy. You learned something. Yeah. All right, let's move on.